So how good is this Samara Joy project? Keep listening to find out. Coffee and Beats. Let's go. What is good, everybody? What is good? Your boy is back behind the mic. It is none other than Rod the Magnificent, and I'm back with another episode. And I got some reviews for you guys. I got a couple of reviews lined up for you guys. But before I get into all that, got a few things I want to get off my chest. All right. The first thing I want to get off my chest is hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the follow. Comment, share. When I share it on Instagram or if I share it on any other platform with you guys do the rest of the work. If you know people like coffee, you know people like music, tell them about this channel, and I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear your concerns about some of these recommendations that I am putting on the show. So hey, feel free to comment, not just on the coffee, but also on the music as well. I definitely want to hear your opinions and thoughts on these. Or if you really like these albums, come back to this video and tell me how much you like it, or tell me how much you didn't like it. It's all about good conversation and good music. So, and also good coffee. And speaking of good coffee, I do have a recommendation. Seasonal items are out there. So here we got the peppermint creamer. This is an almond milk creamer, by the way, peppermint mocha almond creamer. And I got this one from Aldi's. This is no sponsor, but I really like it. You can mix it in with any of your drinks. Give that drink that peppermint style. If you're a Starbucks fan and you like the peppermint mocha, well, that would be a great way to save some money instead of going to Starbucks all the time and paying for a peppermint mocha. Just make your own, and you'll definitely come out a lot better like I did. Got a few more recommendations. It is another podcast. Yes, Your Brothers and Sister Network is here. I love this podcast. Take a look at it. It's from my guy Jeremy and one of the homies, Ashley. Check them out. I have an exclusive interview on that podcast, but don't just check out my interview. Check out all the other interviews that they are doing on that podcast show, and also be on the lookout. I'm looking forward to featuring them on here on this platform on Coffee and Beats pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. Go follow that channel. Go hit the subscribe. Go hit the like. Share with your loved ones. Do all of that stuff because you're going to be in for some treats.
I guarantee that.
I would also like to shout out KadhjaBonet. I want to send a huge shout out to her. Her song, Just Getting Started, came out #1 on my Spotify Unwrapped. So I just want to come on this platform and say I really enjoyed that single. It's very inspirational. I think she's a very talented artist that don't get enough shine. If you are watching, if you're not watching, because who am I really appreciate the music, and I look forward to hearing a new album coming soon. I don't know when, but I cannot wait to dive deep into talking about her music when she comes out with more material in the future. So shout out to KadhjaBonet. We really appreciate you. Keep up the fine work. Also, don't forget to check out my review of the new SAULT projects that dropped early in November. There were 5 albums. I have an audio review of those 5 albums, and you can check those out. Take a look at the links down below, and you'll see the link for that review as well. So enough of me rambling. Let's get right into it with Homeboy Sandman, and he is back with another album, Satellite. Now, this is the latest new LP from Homeboy Sandman, who collaborates with MC producer Decca, who is one of my favorite producers, by the way, for a 10-track, dope beats, dope rhymes, just introspective rhymes all over the board. Good boom bap all over this one. And it's a short project. It rounds off to around 33 minutes with 10 tracks. With this project, Sandman goes a more mellow route on most of the tracks on here, but the energy, the delivery, the cadence are all still alive and kicking when it comes to Sandman's delivery and flow. I also think the energy on this album is much higher than his previous release, Keep That Same Energy.
You saw what I did there.
Songs like Satellite Seas, Sandman reflecting on the things he sees going on in his neighborhood, seeing everything all at once as if he was an actual satellite. I really thought that was a creative song. I love the metaphors and the storytelling, and the production is pretty solid by Decca. Following this is the track Radiator, which features some witty verses from Sandman over a hard thumping instrumental. The chorus is a little bit silly, but it's catchy as you continue to listen to it. So check out other highlights such as Let Go, the song Get Yours, and one of my favorite tracks off the album, All Because of You, which features haunting sound effects over bright xylophone chimes. There were a couple of swings and misses on this album, like for example Today, where Sandman is singing on the track throughout, and although the melody is nice, came across a little irritating for me. Fresh Air Fun was just okay. It had a decent early 90s sped up instrumental to it, but Sandman's delivery doesn't supply the same energy as the beat itself. If you are looking for a hip-hop album with clean lyrics throughout, dope topics, and groovy instrumentals, give this one a try. I give this one an 8 out of 10. Sandman, keep hitting us with these solid releases. Look forward to hearing more in the future. Up next, we got Ghost Funk Orchestra, A New Kind of Love. This is the third studio album from multi-instrumentalist and composer Seth Applebaum, and he's joined by a 10-piece band, which remains a mystery, but the musical presentations from this band presents us with collaborative styles of soul, psych rock rather, salsa, and beyond. And this album features 12 dynamic songs, rounding off at about 40 minutes. Now, let me just say this collective of music, which features funky instrumentals, beautiful harmonies, and intoxicating rhythms, it just left me speechless while I was listening to this project. By the time I got to the end, I just had no words. I just basically replayed this one all the way through again. And this is an album that's on repeat, not a song on repeat. Songs like Scatter, which has these dynamic jazzy passages and mesmerizing vocals. Prism with this moody and playful delivery, laid back instrumentals and piercing sequences makes for a very addictive track. The song Blockhead has these dope guitar riffs. It was just smooth. It was just smooth to listen to. And other highlights includes Why, A New Kind of Love Part 1 and 2, which gives you both dynamic instrumentals on top of well-placed lyrics and vocals, and Rooted as well. The song Rooted I really like as well. Honestly, every single song on this album blends well together, and it just feels like I'm sitting and enjoying a live performance of talented musicians just jamming out and doing their thing collectively. This album is beautiful. It's mind-blowing. It's very romantic in some pockets, and this album feels like smooth icing being layered on a piece of chocolate, double chocolate cake, if I might add. And at the end of it all, I don't know, I'm feeling a 10 on this one. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. That's it. You got it. Yeah, 10 out of 10. My second one this year. Keep it coming. I really enjoyed your projects. This is not my first introduction to this band. I've been following this band for quite some time. They've had some good albums, but I think out of all of their projects, this one is their best one. Keep up the good work. Look forward to hearing more soon. Last but not least, we have Samara Joy with her second studio album, Linger, Awhile. Now, this is the second studio album from the jazz vocalist and new jazz sensation, Samara Joy. Now, I didn't know anything about this artist until a friend of mine posted on his IG page a concert he was attending, and she was the featured artist, and I was blown away by her singing, so much that I had to jump in on it. And I actually jumped off IG and went right to this album and started listening to it. With me being late to the Samara Joy party, I haven't gotten a chance to listen or backtrack and listen to her debut self-titled album, but I plan on doing so soon. However, right after watching my homie's Instagram clip, I instantly went right into the newest album, which dropped earlier in September.
I don't know how I missed that release.
Before I go into my thoughts on this album, I would like to congratulate Samara Joy for her 2 Grammy nominations for Best New Artist and Best Jazz Vocal Album. After listening to this album, I was thoroughly impressed with what I heard. This album makes me think about jazz clubs back in the 50s with people going crazy over some of the punchlines in her lyrics, which she definitely displays throughout this album. Right away, she gets us right into the groove with Can't Get Out of This Mood, a song about a breakup, which features a nice piano solo to complement Samara's singing. And on the contrary, talking about the band here, the band consists of drummer Kenny Washington, guitarist Pascal Grasso, pianist Ben Patterson, and bassist David Wong. Also, check out more upbeat songs on the track list, such as Nostalgia, a song about reminiscing about a first love and how love continued throughout the course of life. Sweet Pumpkin is definitely a vibe, and Misty, the song Misty, is a very subtle and laid-back track as well. You can absolutely see that Samara Joy wears the influences of Billie Holidays, all the Billie Holidays of the world, the Mel Tormes of the world, Dakota Stanton, Ernestine Anderson. All of these influences are worn on her sleeve with this particular album. You can even throw in Etta Jones as well. You can also see the sensual and hopelessly romantic moments in her delivery that can be compared to the likes of Dorothy Dandridge. For example, the closing track, Someone to Watch Over Me. This track presents an elegant vocal performance over smooth piano melodies seasoned throughout the track, and this was definitely a soothing way to close out a stellar jazz album. I love everything about this album, the topics, the lyrical content, the clever play on words she presents throughout. And this album is a perfect balance of not overdoing it with these bland, long instrumental palettes in between her vocal performances, but it's a nice balance of solos from each member of the band and beautiful vocals that Samara lays on top. It's like a fresh cappuccino on a Sunday morning when you listen to this album. Overall, I give this one a 9 out of 10. If you are looking for a smooth jazz album, this one is definitely for you. But with that being said, I am your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. Thanks for listening to the show. Again, subscribe to everything. All the links will be down low to subscribe to all my other social media links. But other than that, I appreciate you guys joining us. Be on the lookout for my top 25 albums of 2022. That is coming. That's going to be the next episode, so be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for coming to the cafe. I'm your musical barista, Rock the Magnificent. When it comes to coffee, when it comes to music, stay grounded for life. I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Watch your operator. Just lift back the rhythm,